Hi there, Mark. How are you doing?
Hello, Shan. Yes, I'm okay, thank you. Uh, I don't know if we talked, but best wishes for New Year.
Thank you. It's been a busy year or two for I think everyone. I'm hoping that in France, COVID is not too serious and people are okay with this winter period.
Uh, well, I think everywhere it starts to grow, but well, uh, my mother was affected a few days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She's in retirement home, but well, there was several cases there, but well. Since she's vaccinated, well, she didn't have too many issues. It was mostly she was very tired, but mm, nothing, nothing too serious.
Of course. Well, it's good to hear that she's okay. So, it's a very challenging thing to be elderly and to face this. Now, it seems that this meeting is quite quiet. We we only have
Hi,
Mm,
good morning.
two people. Hey, good morning. How are you doing, Shreya?
Good. Yeah, this is Sharif here. So I've not been so much active in the past, so I thought I would start becoming active this year because a few of my colleagues were already part of the previous rounds. So I don't know if you have seen me, but since there is nobody, maybe I could quickly introduce myself. So hi, I'm Sharif. I've been working with open source for like 8 to 10 years. Working with Bosch IO along with Marshall Frisman. I hope you know him. And
Yes, of course.
now working in Carrier along with Helio as well for the compliance and the open source office. So looking forward to actively contribute back to the community because I have learned a lot in the past year from OpenChain. So hope to start this year with a lot of contribution from myself as well.
Of course. Well, it's very good to have you here. And we're in an interesting situation where the telco work group, and forgive me if I'm wrong, Mark, but the telco work group has been quite busy making uh, the specification for using S-bombs, and I believe a lot of progress has been made, um, but there's still quite a bit of work to do.
yeah, yeah. Yes. Do you have news from Jimmy?
Actually, I don't. So at the moment, I don't have anything from Jimmy, and therefore my suggestion is, if we don't have more people join, and if Jimmy doesn't join, I believe he's still on vacation, but we did reschedule the meetings to this week, as you requested. Um, if Jimmy doesn't join, my suggestion is that we just verbally have a brief update on the status of what's going on. So, where are we with the development of this SBOM? Um, SBOM.
Y- Yes, so as you know, it's currently managed with GitHub. So in the previous meeting, well, before the previous meeting, I had created several pull requests. Most of them have been accepted, and some required still discussion, and since then Jimmy has also created some new pull requests to be discussed, and with my colleague Gage, we made some comments on these pull requests, so I had expected that we would review these requests today. So, well, I'm not sure it's useful to have a look at these pull requests now, since we are very limited.
Well, what we could do, if you are okay, perhaps you could briefly talk through a couple of these pull requests, and then we'll send the recording of this to the mailing list, and let people know that this is being discussed. It needs input and work.
Okay.
Oh, we don't have to. It's just my suggestion.
Yes, we can. I can share my screen. Okay, so we have 12 pull requests open. So as I said, the last one have been created by Jimmy, and the other ones are from December by myself and my colleague. So if we go to the latest one, okay. Yes, this should be okay. It's just an indication on how to say that you are conformant to this specification. So here Jimmy suggested something, and we fixed one typo. Okay, the second one. Okay, the second one is about security. Jimmy says, Jimmy asked whether we should say something about security on this standard, or if we should leave it to OpenSSF or Sigstore. So that's a point to discuss.
With that, just out of curiosity,
Yeah.
what do you personally think might be useful? Should we do it internally, or should we do this as part of Sigstore, etc.? On a personal level.
Yeah. I would probably leave it out, but that's just my opinion. Okay, so this is just adding some links, so that's not okay. Yes, this is a point from Jimmy, which I'm not sure I fully understand. What we said that we would use SPTX 2.2 because the ISO version So what Jimmy points out is that if we use SPDX Lite, the SPDX Lite version of 2.2 has not all the elements from NTIA. And in 2.3, the SPDX Lite was changed to include all elements, but I don't really get his point. In fact, we didn't say that we would use SPDX Lite, so I would remove all references to SPDX Lite in our document. But well, it must be clarified with Jimmy. Okay. What is this? Okay, so this is the same thing. Okay, so coming back to my or Nokia's proposal. So this is this is something important and really to be discussed. So this is the list of mandatory elements to be included in the SPDX SBOM with some justification. So this is something that really needs to be discussed. Okay, the other one, so that was something that was requested during the last meeting. We spoke about transitive dependencies, but it was not defined, so here I propose a definition. Okay. Okay, this was an English question, so nothing. Nothing. Okay, okay. This is also an important point to be discussed. There are several questions here. One question is, to which level do we mandate information? Should we stay at the package level? Should we go to the file level or even to the snippet level? So that's what one of the questions. And the other one was whether we should include only open source in the SBOM or all components, including commercial closed source ones. So this is also to be discussed. Okay.
My goodness, there's a lot of material, isn't there?
Yes, here also something to be discussed is how long the BSBOM is still valid. There was a discussion about should the SBOM be available until the software is completely removed, or should it be only a limited time, like what Jimmy proposes is that the SBOM should be available for a year and a half. So yes.
This would be the same as the OpenChain ISO
Yeah.
standard as yeah.
Yes, that's exactly what he argued. Yeah, that we should align on OpenChain, but some people disagreed.
If I might ask, did they explain why they disagreed? Did they have a rationale?
Well, what they said is that if the software is used for, let's say, 10 years, during these 10 years, the SBOM should be available.
I see. But I guess that's a separate question to product availability.
Yeah, yes, but we had some discussion about that, but we didn't.
Of course.
Conclude. Okay, we are. Okay, so yeah, so that's just about the same discussion about 18 months to align with OpenChain. Okay, and then okay, and then there is a discussion on when the SBOM should be created. Should it be when the software is built, or when the software is delivered, or so that's also something to discuss. Yes, so I agree with you. There is still some questions, some things to decide before we come to a final document.
Of course. Now, it was interesting that you noted that there was some discussion about SPDX Lite as well. So I say it's interesting because we see SPDX Lite in play in some places like Japan and so on.
Yeah, they created in Japan, yeah.
Yeah, but we still have a lot to learn about people's plans for it around the world. So it's interesting to have that discussion on the telco. It's useful.
Yes, well, in fact, the big change will be SPDX3, which is something significantly different than current version 2. We don't know when it will be out. Kate said it should be out in something like June this year, but since well, it's a modular thing, so I don't know if it's only the core that will be available there, or if all the profiles will be also available there. So, but in any case, it will be a change. So that's why we said we would, for the moment, stick to the ISO standard.
Of course. Well, that makes sense. In terms of market deployment in areas like telco, it seems intuitive that being conservative is a first choice. All right. I mean, that's an excellent recap. And then I guess the messaging is, and this is something I'll promote to the main list with the outcome of this call. The messaging is please jump in and help on those issues so they can be closed for telco, and maybe reuse the spec in other fields as well. Sharif, do you have any questions, given it's your first call?
Not actually a question, but maybe just background to understand why is there a telco specific SPTX or telco specific SPOM requirement and not a standard SPOM requirement? Is there some special um, requirement that is coming from the telco technology, uh, or is it something like, okay, telco unit is actually working on this topic?
Well, Mark, I'm going to have to hand this one over to you. So the motivation for creating this was
specifically for technical, yeah.
Yes, well, what we would like to do is to harmonize the type of SBOMs that we exchange with both from people who provide us software, and also to have, but most importantly, to have a consistent SBOM between all telco providers to their customers.
Okay, but yeah, it's the same motivation that we have to have the SBOM across the supply chain to have the organization. But I was more specifically looking into if there is some additional information that telco might need, or is this that the SBOM is prepared so that it can be used not just only for telco but also for automotive and for finance and other technologies as well. Is there any reason that I might not be able to use this SBOM for automotive domains, or do you think there is no such restriction in terms of the information that is required in this SBOM?
Yes, probably what we do here can be reused in other domains, but well, as you have seen, we have not fully completed the work. So when we have a stable document, we can discuss with other work groups to see if I find it useful.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would also like to definitely have a look into this in the next week, and maybe also feedback on my perspective, because I come from the automotive industry, and I would be interested also to share or to use this information rather than creating an own SBOM, having for automotive and for the finance sector. That was my question, to see if there is any distinguishing factor that I should keep in mind when I'm reviewing this, or is it something that I could just take it and then have a review and then feedback as it is? So, yeah, thanks. I think I have a minute. Thank you, Mark.
Okay.
All right. Well, if we have no other business, I suggest we wrap it up there. I share the recording with not only the telco group, but the main group, and point people towards the issues, asking for people to contribute. Just out of curiosity, do you want to keep the evening meeting scheduled? The afternoon meeting scheduled?
Last time there was only one person apart from me in the meeting.
Okay.
So, well, apart from today, I'm not sure we really need two meetings because but well, it's one point to be to be discussed. But well, since this morning there was a very little audience, yes, perhaps we can cancel the meeting from this afternoon.
Okay.
I will ask Jimmy what he plans to do, because he really needs to be here. He has the right to accept the pull requests on GitHub, so he really needs to be there if we want to make modifications.
Understood. I'll let everyone know that the afternoon meeting is canceled, and we can use this meeting today as the main from this month in terms of meetings, and I'll encourage people on the lists to be part of this and help with closing the issues.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and have a beautiful day.